map while another person works on another part of the map. But which parts of these make for sort of the final shipping version of the editor is not 100% set in stone, but clearly it's a valuable part of creating a mod. Like, we do that all the time in the office. Like, we have, you know, engineers and artists working separately, and if you could have the same kind of basic working environment, it'd be a huge asset to the mod community, so it's something we definitely want to support.
I have a question about battle reports. How often are we going to see them, and will they ever see David Kim lose?
Nerf David Kim, yeah. So I don't know, hopefully David Kim will lose a game today. We've got a game going on here at 5 o'clock today over in the next hall where we're going to have a 2v2, and I encourage you all to come on over there and watch and see whether David Kim can hold his own or whether he finally gets punked down by some other players. The battle reports are something we sort of do in our spare time. Like, we're trying to build the game. You know, we're trying to build these missions. We're trying to help, you know, Battle.net get ready. We're building all these missions at the same time. So whenever we get a chance, whenever we get a really cool game, we try to get down to the audio department and get their help and put together a battle report. So they kind of come, you know, as the good games come and as time, you know, permits. We've had some good games played recently, but we'll be ready for BlizzCon. So as often as we can get them to you, we absolutely will. But I have to say, for us, and I hope you'll agree, getting the game done does have to come first.
All right, I guess I got two questions. The first is, does Blizzard plan on making anything kind of like Dota as a Blizzard game? And the more important question is, can I have a Starcraft 2 beta key?
All right, so in terms of Dota, one of the things that made Dota so great, of course, was that it was fan-developed and it is patched constantly by the mod makers who develop it, and they just keep it really, really updated, sort of at a speed, frankly, that I don't think Blizzard could easily move at. So we're definitely going to look at putting out a sort of basic version of an Aeon of Strife, a Dota-type map. Hopefully we can get one done that will go to you, the fans, when the game ships or just after the game ships. But we really just plan on that map as being a template, as being an example of, if you wanted to replicate that kind of gameplay, here's some of the code, here's some of the scripting, here's some of the data you could use to do that. So we'll put that out there, but we really hope you guys will take that map and run with it, and riff on it, and do whatever stuff you guys do, work your magic, and make it cool. As to the StarCraft 2 beta key, I'm telling you, buddy, you're going to have to take your chance like everybody else, though I appreciate your gumption asking for it. Hopefully you'll get in. Good luck, man.
Yesterday in the cinematics panel, they showed us some of the storyboard from the cinematic Old Rivals. They said originally when they finished the storyboard, it clocked in at over 9 minutes. Now, they said, unfortunately, they couldn't make that cinematic run that long due to time constraints and stuff. My question is, do you have an estimate of how long that cinematic will run? And do you have an estimate of just how much pre-rendered cutscenes will feature in the first game?
You really should have gotten in line for that one yesterday. I'm sorry, sir. I don't know the answer to that question. We have several cinematics. I don't know what the final exact count will be, and I don't know what the total time will be. It's as much as we could get done. Obviously, those are very expensive cinematics to put together, and they need a long lead time to get them ready. Like, we can't really react very quickly if there's story changes. So we end up focusing those on really the big, hard moments in the story that we know a year or 2 years or 3 years in advance, that those story elements are going to remain no matter what. So we really focus those on those elements. And then all of the in-game cinematics they've done, which they've done just a silly number of those. I think we're up to 17 or 18 in-game cinematics. Because they're a little easier to make, we can get a lot more of those into the game.
In Warcraft 3, there were Starcraft character models available for us to use, and I was wondering if the reverse was going to be true in the new game.
Well, I know the Tauren Marine is in. I don't know if that's a Warcraft or a Starcraft model. And obviously, we're going to be adding a bunch more stuff like that as we get towards the end. I know the art guys love adding that kind of stuff. It's really up to them on what they add, but I will certainly express your enthusiasm for it to them, and hopefully they'll get some time to add a lot of crazy stuff.
So obviously StarCraft 2 is 3D and it's got Battle.net 2.0, but other than that, other than those two obvious things, what would you say discerns StarCraft 2 the most from the original game?
Well, we got lots of changes. I think one of the things that this group is the most excited about is what we're doing with the campaign. Like, we've really worked on making each of these missions just as unique as they can possibly be. So as you play through